Like, we can have a full conversation about something that we have to do, and she completely forgets it. I've never seen anything like this before.
This is not familiar.
Because you probably forgot it already. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tubby Time. Hope you're all doing well and are staying safe and are enjoying more quarantine, I guess. I don't know. So, you might notice we are not in our kitchen. We're actually in our living room because last week marked our 1-year anniversary of living together. And what a year it has been. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Okay. We wanted to do our first Tubby Talk episode today where we talk about things that, I don't know, couples deal with and all sorts of random topics. So we thought it'd be appropriate to talk about the things we have learned while living with each other. You know what they always say, you never know someone until you live with them. A little bit of backstory, before we bought our house together, we had lived separately with our parents for about 5 years while we were together. The last year, we have definitely learned some things that we want to share with you. For any of you couples out there that are looking to maybe moving in with your significant other. So, without further ado, let's get into the list. So we have 7 each, 14 total, and we're just going to go through them. Now, the fun part is neither of us have seen each other's lists. So, I don't know what she's going to complain about. She doesn't know what I'm going to complain about.
I'm not going to complain.
You always complain. That starts... No, I'm just kidding. We already knew that. And these are things we learned only with living with each other. So her complaining all the time, something I already knew. We don't want to bring that up. Even though we just did. Whatever. All right. So would you like to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Whew. What have I learned since living with you?
What is this, a high school essay?
Yeah. Okay. He watches the stupidest, most dumbest shows and movies ever.
Most dumbest shows and movies ever.
And I have learned, after living with you for a year, that there are some shows that are not that bad. For example, South Park is actually funny.
South Park is funny. If you haven't seen it, you probably should. And if you don't like it...
It's still stupid, but I find it humorous.
It's educational.
And Rescue Me, that's a pretty good show.
Rescue Me is amazing.
Yeah. So that's my first one. I've learned that your shows aren't that bad.
I wish I could say the same for you, because yours are terrible. Except for SVU. Love SVU. All right. Let's see. My first one is you are definitely more comfy and fat than I thought you were. And when I say that, I mean, I always knew that she loved sitting at home and doing nothing, but I didn't understand until I lived with her that you, that's your life. Is if you're like, hey, the quarantine thing. So backstory behind that, we started this channel the day we were both released from quarantine because she got sick, then I got sick, and we didn't have coronavirus, like we said. Don't look at that video. I'll put a link. But we started this channel, sort of to get out of, we wanted to do something besides just sit around the house. And so sitting together around the house for 5 days was just boring for me, but she absolutely loved it.
We played a lot of board games.
We played a lot of board games and we
watched a lot of movies.
Yeah. And she could literally do this for days. Yeah. And just, if she had to sit there for the first 2 weeks of quarantine, and she would have loved it.
Yeah.
And you get paid, so
yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, and I think a little side note about that is I used to be one of those people, and I still am one of those people that I go stir crazy. I can't be in the house for days on end. And I used to go crazy if I didn't leave the house, I don't know, within the day. I always had to go do something, whether it was get gas or whatever. And now I feel that I don't really need to do that. I feel like it's okay if we sit around the house. So it's something I sort of adapted, and she makes it acceptable for me. Whereas before I didn't really think it was.
What did you call this? Fat comfy?
Fat comfy. She's very fat, very comfy.
All right. I have realized that it is very possible to sleep through a voice pager.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, because so when he lived with his mom, I would go over sometimes, and this voice pager would be blasting. He would always be sleeping through it, and then I'd have to storm up the stairs and yell at him because I would have to always be the one to turn it off, or it would wake me up. And now I sleep through it quite a bit.
Yep. And this thing is obnoxious. It's like, if you don't know what it is, it's like a mini radio. Every time a fire department or whatever is dispatched, it is loud and it's turned up and it's like someone's yelling at you and making noises and all that good stuff. And she literally, I'll come home from work in the morning and she will be sleeping right through it.
I'm used to it now.
I don't get it. Well, I do get it.
Because of
you. Yeah. All right. My next one is that you, and this is one I already sort of knew, but I think it really shows since we live together now because we have to do things together. You plan obnoxiously in advance. Like there's always that joke that women plan more than men do, and that's absolutely true. But she will ask me, hey, what are you doing 2 Saturdays from now at 3:00? Like, I don't know why. Well, I was thinking we could do that. Like, okay. Hey, we need to start planning our vacation in January and it's May. You know, like it's stuff like that.
Yeah, but you don't even know what you're doing tomorrow.
I know that. I didn't know we were making a video today. We didn't plan that. But yeah, I don't plan much besides going to work and socializing with people. But she will get so mad at me if like, I'm like, hey, we're going to have a fire this weekend and we can invite some people over. Well, who's coming? What time? When are we doing it? What are we going to do that day? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's Monday. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't told anyone about it. When are you going to tell people? You going to tell them? When? Now? Who's coming? What bathroom are they going to use? Are the floors wet? What?
You need to know.
Do we need to get food? What is it?
I see nothing wrong with that.
Go do your next one.
You cannot put things back the way you found them. For example, a half hour ago, you took one paper towel off the roll and just left them all going. And you said you were going to go back to it.
I did.
It's still like that.
No, it's not.
Or, I get home last night from work, you have the oven mitt on the kitchen counter. Just there.
Hold on.
When did you use the oven?
We're going to see if it's still like that. Nope, not like that. I don't know where you got that from.
I get home last night, the oven mitt isn't on the kitchen counter. When you take a plate from the cabinet, you can't close the cabinet. You leave it cracked open.
Our cabinets don't close correctly. That's the thing.
So you close it gently. Or you leave the toilet seat up.
That's a normal thing, guys.
You can never put things back the way
Women
you
just
found
took the extra second to make sure the toilet seat was down. There wouldn't be a problem. That's my theory. And then, if women could put the toilet seat up when they're done, see, I don't like the toilet seat debate. It doesn't work. It's stupid. Just like your point.
No, go on. That was mine.
You prioritize weirdly and stick to a routine. So what I mean by that is we have a list of chores we have to do every week in the house, and we split it up, and it just keeps the house clean. So when I lived at my mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but you know this is true. My mom's house is a complete disaster. So nothing was ever cleaned. Like, I would attempt to clean if I could, but it wasn't my house and most of the stuff was hers. So when we moved in together, she said, listen, we're going to live in a clean house. And I'm absolutely for that. So we developed this little schedule that helps us keep track of what we have to do in the house and all that good stuff. Well, this one over here constantly forgets to do her chores, even though it never changes. It's the same thing every...
Forget?
Last week, dusting.
I didn't forget.
Yeah, you did. Because you had it on your to-do list 5 days later.
I didn't have time.
She didn't have time. But she does have time to wake up every morning and watch Law & Order for 3 hours.
I don't do that anymore.
Anymore. Meaning, as of today.
He doesn't know because he's asleep when I wake up.
That is true. But every day, I wake up and you have some dumb movie playing. And the other thing, too, so like she'll have like something to do, like, oh, I need to leave early today. I need to go to my mom's for the 6th time today. And, oh, I didn't do my chores because I didn't have time. Oh, my Lord. I'll get to it. And then she freaks out when I mention it to her. Because, whatever. Next.
That's the stupidest thing you ever said. I have learned from you that it's okay to add a little bit of pepper to everything you eat.
That is true.
Yeah, because he still adds too much pepper. He adds pepper on everything, even without tasting it first. And I'll taste it, but he always sprinkles a little bit on my food, and now I feel like it needs more pepper whenever I eat something because of that. So a little bit of pepper is kind of necessary.
Salt and pepper, put it on everything, including your salads and vegetables. It's delicious. You will put more effort into complaining about something than just doing it. Okay? For example, leaving the toilet seat up. She will stand there and complain and whine when she could just put the toilet seat down.
Then he will never learn.
I still haven't learned. It's been a year.
Keep trying.
Another thing, we had an issue with our TV remote, and I would get nightly phone calls at work. When are you going to change the batteries? What can you change the batteries?
Because you said you would do it.
Yes, I did. So she keeps taking the remote from the other TV and bringing it into our bedroom, and then I have to bring the remote back outside every morning, where she could have just taken less steps and gotten new batteries and put them in the remote.
Not my job.
You're the one that uses the bedroom TV.
You used it last
a couple
night.
times. I wasn't home last night.
You used it the night before, I meant.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No,
You
I
asked
didn't.
for the remote.
Yeah, and then I didn't use it.
Is that my fault?
So, going back to the original point, she will literally call me every day of the week to complain about something that needs to be done or I didn't do or something along those lines when she could just do it herself. Such as locking the door when I leave the house. Like, you could just do that. Or remembering gift cards. Or...
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. I have learned that you are very flexible.
I am very flexible. For a fat guy...
Yes, because
I can touch my toes.
we're like on the couch and, you know, I'm all cuddled up with my blankets and he's the exact same on the opposite. And then like we're on the floor the other day and you just brought your foot up and you smelled your foot. I don't think I've ever seen a guy do that before.
I didn't smell my foot.
I think you were showing me how flexible you were.
Oh, it could have been that.
I'm very impressed.
Other than that, I don't use that for much, so don't make assumptions. Were you going to mention anything about me listening?
No.
No? Okay, good. So, common trend, as most guys know, is women complaining that their men don't listen to them. No secret here. I apparently don't listen, even though I think I'm a good listener. Her problem is, whereas I have selective hearing and I listen to what I want to listen to, apparently, because, you know, by default, that's what all guys have, she just doesn't hear me at all. Like, I'll be like, hey, tomorrow we're doing this. Okay, cool. What time? Good. All right, awesome. And then the next day, you didn't tell me we were doing that today. Like, yeah, I did. It's no. Like, and she will be completely serious. Like, I didn't, like, we can have a full conversation about something that we have to do, and she completely forgets it. I've never seen anything like this before, especially with a girl, because usually you people retain everything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You do this all the time. Like, I'll say something and you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, awesome. Or, hey, I have to work tomorrow night for overtime. Oh, okay, cool. What are we going to do tomorrow night? I'm working. Since when? You didn't tell me that.
This is not familiar.
Because you probably forgot it already. So yes, she is just as bad of a listener as I am, if not worse. Next. This isn't about agreeing with each other. Next.
Okay, before all this COVID stuff started, I learned that all you ever watch is football. That's it. If there's a game on at night or on the weekends, the football's on TV. Or if it's in the early afternoon when he wakes up, you gotta turn on the TV because now there's YouTube football or YouTube people talking about football
yes,
players.
YouTube has a football
league
now.
I don't know. All it is football. And it's really annoying because that's all you ever watched every single day up until COVID when it stopped. But God forbid, I watched Law & Order every morning.
Yeah, every morning. I watch football on Thursdays and Sundays.
And every day you watch the YouTube football stuff.
Not every day. It's twice a week right now.
I said pre-COVID.
You're a liar.
No.
You're a liar. She's lying. I'm divorcing her. I can't deal with this. Football is not the problem. It's her. One that sort of has, I think, come up more recently. You get extremely angry when I have fun and you're not.
I don't think so.
So, for example, Cinco de Mayo last week. Had some friends over, we made some steaks, whatever. And she gets home and you could tell she wasn't happy. And then I'm the bad guy because I had too many margaritas and I was a little out of my element. Well, in my element, I guess.
I wasn't mad that you had friends over.
No, she was mad that I was drunk and she wasn't.
Right, that's different.
Right. So she just, anytime I'm doing something, and this is the thing, like, if I don't do this, but like, if I were to leave my friend's house completely plastered and drive home, she has a justification to be mad. But I get drunk at home and it's the end of the world because she was working and I had fun.
It's annoying to come home to that and have to deal with that.
I have never once.
But I was not mad that you had friends over and you were having a good time. That's great. I'm glad. I was mad that you were shit-faced and I had to come home from work to that.
And you weren't.
What?
What?
Me not drinking doesn't have to do with it. It's me having to come home to that. To this.
To this?
Drunk.
I am a very pleasant drunk. I have never, ever once done anything stupid while drinking. Next.
All right, this is my last one. I have learned that you are so disorganized.
Give examples, because I don't know what you're talking about.
For example, our bedroom floor is usually half filled with all of your clothes.
Yup, my reusable clothes.
Very disorganized.
Pants, you don't wear pants one day and then throw them in the wash.
You're disorganized and you take up so much space because all of your crap is everywhere. You have the kitchen counter, which has your mail. You have the little...
No, there's no mail on the kitchen counter.
The side table by the couch
Lies.
Has all of your shit. It's just covered. It's covered.
It's covered in my shit.
The counter in the bathroom, you have more crap on that than I do.
Well, yeah, because I'm a guy.
It's all over the place.
Shaving cream, razors.
And what else do I have?
I have an electric toothbrush. I have other manly things. I don't know.
Oh, the top of your bedroom dresser. Just crap everywhere.
It's very organized.
Or when you put stuff in the fridge. It's so disorganized.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's...
I think you're...
Oh, or when you load the dishwasher, it's so disorganized.
Apparently, I don't know how to load a dishwasher. This is news to me. I thought I loaded one okay, but apparently Miss Dishwasher Queen over here...
It's awful.
Princess
The only thing I have to say, you're a clean, disorganized person.
Yes.
Because you're very disorganized, but you're very clean.
Sure. That sounds legit.
Like we have our cleaning schedule.
Yes.
You want things to be kept clean. Or be clean. You always wash the floors and the clothes. But
so
then you just throw the crap everywhere.
So I'm okay at being disorganized, I guess. I think that's what she's getting at. Anyway, my last and final point, going back to the original reason we made this video, everyone always says you don't know someone unless you live with them, which is absolutely true. I was afraid that when we moved in together, we'd get sick of each other, like most couples, especially when you spend all your time together. And I think that that's not the case with us. I actually legitimately enjoy spending time with you, unfortunately. She drives me nuts once in a while, but I don't... Let me put it this way. I'm very happy that my fears weren't realized, being that I would get annoyed living with you. Yeah, we have our separate areas of the house that we try to go in and we do our things. But I never have to go home and be like, oh my God, I got to deal with her, unless it's like she's mad about something, which is most nights. But usually she's coming home to me or I'm not seeing her because we work opposite schedules, sort of. So I think working opposite schedules helps a little bit in the fact that we don't spend every night with each other. So the nights we do spend with each other can be a little more... precious. Enjoyable. Yeah. Our time together is precious. So, yeah. I'm happy that after a year, I'm not sick of you. And it's been 6 years total. Oh my God. That's terrible.
We're old.
We're old. She's wearing a hat because she's balding. She just found a bald spot.
I want to match you.
So, that's about it. You have anything else you want to add?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was good.
So we hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys out there that are moving in together or living together or dating or considering dating or whatever, hopefully you took something from this, and even though every couple's different, maybe some of you have similar issues you deal with. So if you do, drop something in the comments section about what you learned living with your spouse or significant other or whatever. And if you liked what you saw, drop a like, subscribe. Right there. And we hope to see you again soon on Tubby Time, where we will actually probably be cooking something this time. So, until next time, stay safe. Thanks for watching.